Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Bart. Bart's from California in the USA. So let's see what Bart has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello. Okay, cool. So tell me where you're from.
Well, I've lived the past 21 years in Oakland, California.
Okay.
The Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. I went to Berkeley as a college student, and so I just stayed in the area after I graduated.
Right.
So Berkeley, Oakland area. I've spent a few years elsewhere, Austin or Arizona, and right now I'm outside Chicago.
Okay.
And I've been here, for a little bit. So I still feel like the Bay Area is my home.
Right.
And I still have connections and people there, but life is about change. So we'll see where the Lord takes me.
Absolutely. And what do you do for a living?
I've been a lot of things, actually. Everything from a producer for MTV to a project manager to a software developer.
Wow.
I worked as an EMT, small business owner. So a lot of things. So it seems like every 5 years I decide to not work for a company, work for myself. And I do that for a while till I get too, isolated or just feel like I want to work with people more. And then I might, take a job with a company and work for them for 4 years or so. So I've done a lot of work. I was an interactive producer for an advertising agency for many years. And so working in advertising and then software development as well.
Okay,
so I'm kind of all over. Right now I'm a consultant. There's a company called Salesforce.com. I don't know if you've heard of them. So I'm a consultant and developer certified by them. So I do a lot of consulting work for small, medium businesses, business process management, you name it. So worked with clients all over the country, which is nice because you can work remotely.
That's good. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I worked as a writer as well for a while.
Wow. You do all those things. Right.
Yes.
Okay, Bart. So welcome to William and the Magic Box. Lovely box here, full of random fun questions. Okay. What I'm going to do now? I'm just going to play a song just for us to get in the mood before the first question. Ready?
Okay.
Let's do it. Hope you like. Okay, Bart, let's go for the first question. Let's do it.
Okay.
When have you been the most happy?
The most happy. Man. I guess I'd have to punctuate that with times that I wasn't happy because I think I'm a pretty joyful person in general. Or maybe my brain just doesn't process the bad times.
Right.
So I feel like I'm pretty much connected to the joy. But I would say, there was a time in the 90s when I was, I graduated from Berkeley and I was working full time, making great money before the .com crash. And, just if you on paper, everything was good. I was making good money. I had great relationships. I lived in a beautiful place, the Bay Area. It's gorgeous, I had a responsibility and I just felt like, hey, I'm grown up now. This is good. Little did I know it would come crashing down at some point. But I feel like on paper, that was the best time. I guess there's points where I have close relationships and I feel like I'm loved. And, I'm kind of away from my circle right now. I'm in another state, but I can count that as a time as well. Just feeling like, whatever possessions I have, whatever status is going on, however comfortable or uncomfortable my life is at this moment, I am well loved. I'm connected, and that also I think has to list up there as well.
Cool. Great answer.
Thank you.
Let's go for another one. Let's do it. Just before the next question, what do you miss the most of your hometown?
Going to the ocean.
Okay.
The Bay Area, you can drive an hour. You can be in wine country. You can be in the hills. You can be in the ocean, or you can go skiing. I mean, it's all right there. So I used to drive up with my dog. We used to drive 52 miles up to the Napa wine country. And there was this field, this vineyard that we could drive out, and there was a pond. And her and I could spend the whole day just in that little area, in the sun, alone. She could play in the water. And, you know, when the Bay Area work got too much, I'd just go up there, spend a couple hours. I lost a dog this year. She was 19 years old. Ooh. 19. I've had her for 19 years. Wow. I found her under an overpass in Oakland when she was a puppy.
Oh my
at
God.
6 months, and I had her for 19 years. Amazing. A Black Lab Pit mix. Best mix in the world, by the way.
Wow.
So lost her this year. Ayla. Props to Ayla. Thank God. So many good memories of that.
Great. Next question is, how would you like to be remembered in life?
Well, a big part of my life for the past decade or so has been service work, volunteer work. Mm-hmm. I'm still remotely working with 2 nonprofits right now that do equine therapy for sick and dying kids. Yeah. They take these little Shetland ponies to children hospice, which I didn't even know existed a decade ago. You can imagine, a child hospice. And some of these kids that have spent a majority of their life, young life, in a hospital bed, are suddenly sitting on the back of a horse, a little Shetland horse, and they're being supported and they're riding, and they just, something happens when a sick kid gets on a horse. The horse knows it, I swear. You can tell. And these kids, they're doing therapy. They don't even know it, but they're using their balance muscles and their core. And just to see that, I mean, it's emotional. But I've been working with them for about 10 years. And another one as well that does more therapeutic riding. And then service work in the community, just whatever it is. So I think the stamp of my life, hopefully, is all the unseen things that I've done that I've never even talked about, that I think hopefully impacted people in a good way. And there's a joy there. So I'd recommend service work to anybody because it gets you out of your own head, lets you give back, and it kind of right sizes us. You know what I mean? It puts us in perspective, which is valuable.
You see life in a different way, in a different perspective, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You're more grateful and everything, for sure.
That's right. That's right.
Shall we get another one?
Sure. Let's keep going. This is easy.
Great. Next question is, what does love mean to you?
Love means radical honesty, usually. The people that I think love me the most aren't the ones that have to be nice to me, per se. In fact, if they're being, like some of my best friends, if they're being really nice and complimentary, I get nervous. And when they call me on my stuff or tell me, whatever, I think love also is forgiveness, because the closer you get to people, the more messy things get, period. Especially in the company of men, which is we're we can be rough and we can be blind to our own injury that we cause. But if you stick around, if you don't just cancel, if you stick around and stay in their face as a friend, inevitably they come back and they grow and they say, yeah, that was kind of messed up what I did. I didn't see it at all at the time. And I can say, I know. Yeah, I know. I was there. I saw it. You're loved. And then we grow. We do better. So part of love is enduring one another, right? And then also, we got to keep clear of resentments in life. The little cancers that we don't see, that our society doesn't really teach us how to clear out resentment. It teaches us to keep resentments going back hundreds of years, perhaps, right?
Right.
It's a cancer, and doing the daily work, or at least the momentary work of being aware, hey, there's a little resentment growing. I know where this goes. It's not going to go well. If you don't deal with it, it becomes something worse inside you. So love is also being honest with yourself about the resentments, because I can cop a resentment really quickly. Like, that's my nature, right? So it's been decades of me being aware of that bent and having that conversation with myself. And usually it comes back to pride, fear, or just my own arrogance. Like, that's what's offended. That's why I'm offended, right? Somebody didn't respect me, or somebody did something that I felt, And so, again, it's about the right sizing of your soul. in relation to the rest of the world.
Oh, wow. Very deep answer. I love that.
Was it?
Yes, yes. You're very, you speak very well. My goodness, I love it.
Cool, let's keep dancing.
Let's keep dancing. Let's keep dancing. Next question is, how would you describe a perfect friendship?
Well, I guess there's a little difference between male friendships and female friendships in a way.
Wow. Why? How do you mean?
I think that, I think in some ways, male friendships, we expect a little bit of elbow sometimes. And part of that, and maybe even competition, and not in a healthy way. You know, I think my friends keep me on my toes, and I know they're bent. I know I anticipate and can know what they're going to think and do sometimes because I know them. So friendship is also about helping them to stay out of that pathway that is going to lead them into a bad pattern or into a blind alley. And I think with my female friendships, I think it's more about hearing and being heard. I don't think they need me to mansplain life or be corrective action to them. I think that most of my female friendships, and there's long-standing ones and they're married and I'm in a relationship. It's not anything physical. They just need to be heard, and they need me to speak honestly to them. Like in terms of not trying to placate or I don't know, just be falsely nice. So there's a little bit of a distinction there, but hey, friendship is friendship, and people are people in one way. I don't mean to make a distinction in terms of humanity, because that doesn't exist. But just friendship is about the messiness of life and striving with each other in that, because it's messy and it's beautiful.
Yes,
it's
true.
Amazing. Yeah, I can't live without it, but it's not always pretty.
It's an interesting journey, isn't it? Interesting and worth it to take it. It's really very interesting. Another one?
Sure.
Let's do it. Okay, Bart, let's get another question. If you could have a tea with a fictional character, who that would be and why?
Oh, I'm losing. Maybe Sherlock Holmes.
Why is that?
I have gained a lot from learning about the introspection of standing back, extrospection, and being able to dispassionately address and look at a situation. Divorce yourself from your agenda, from your emotions, from your justice, all of it. Just look at it honestly and dispassionately, and see the matter of it, see the real thing. And again, I don't think that's something our culture teaches a lot. It teaches us to lead with our emotion or our bias or those type things. So Sherlock had a very way, I think, a way of, and also, the definition of luck for me is when preparedness meets opportunity. So one thing great about Sherlock Holmes is that he had sort of done the work to when the opportunity arose to discover or to realize, he had already, figured out what different, the ash from different cigars looks like. So we could say that's from this cigar, that was relevant for them. So I think the combination of preparedness and doing due diligence in your off time to be ready for the opportunity, whatever that arises. I like that scenario. I found it to be very beneficial and integrity, really.
Great. Let's go for another question. Let's do Barts. Let's go.
Okay.
Just before the next question, are you considering to get another dog after the...
I'm possibly. I'm not in a place right now to do that. Also, I lived in community in California. I had a house and I rented out rooms for 21 years, and had long-term roommates, great people. I was very fortunate, But in that situation, I had it built in is if I was gone or worked late or whatever, I didn't have to worry somebody would feed my dog or somebody would love her if she was, there was a storm happening. And they had dogs and I would do the same for them. So it was reciprocal. But right now, I'd have to, in her later years, I couldn't leave the house for more than 3 hours because I needed to help her and, get her outside. And so, and I was willing to do it. I'm not complaining, but it's pretty restrictive not to be able to be gone for more than 3 hours. So I want to take it seriously and I need to be in a place where I can do it responsibly since I don't live in community anymore. But I want a dog. I want a dog very badly. I love the pit bull energy. They're goofy. They're all over you. They love you. And I miss that a lot. I miss that a lot, especially at night.
Oh, that's cute. What does your best friend do that comforts you the most?
What does my best friend do that comforts me the most? When I see him growing in his faith, in his family. And not in a sort of, end times scary, like get ready way, but when the realization of how grace and love works between us, even with brutal honesty. And this is somebody that I've done martial arts with. So if you think about a best friend who you think about in your mind ways to choke out, like you're my friend, I love you, but I really want to get you into an arm bar and make you tap out.
Yes.
The dichotomy between those two extremes, I think there's a real honesty there. So to me, that's where security lies, in that I'm not, in that we have that expanse between us where we can sort of emotionally go across that. I don't know. I mean, I it's maybe a little odd to think of my friends providing me my comfort. I guess I'm fairly self-sufficient in some ways, but what I need is reality. What I need to know is that I guess somebody's looking out for me in my blind spots. Mm-hmm. That's when somebody says something, no matter how it makes me feel, and I'm aware, wow, I didn't even see that. Or I say, hey, I can see that's been a real pattern for me. And I couldn't put it into those words, so thank you for that. To know somebody's got my back when I'm not looking.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Because we're all vulnerable, right? We're all vulnerable in some ways, as long as we are.
Yeah, absolutely. My best friend, he lives in, we are so far away, he lives in Canada, in Montreal, and we met in London a few years ago. And it's funny because he's French, I'm Brazilian, our mother language is totally different. I'm gay, he's straight, but it's so funny because I've got so many friends around me, like in London, and some gay friends as well. But I feel more comfortable, some reason, talking to him about everything, like anything. And it's very interesting because we are, our world is totally different. But even though, there's a very genuine connection over there. And he tells me off when he needs, I just, we understand each other very well. So I know what I mean.
Yeah, I got a friend, a good buddy in California, and again, like you said, I mean, in some ways on paper, we're very different. I just so different, and we shouldn't be friends. Really. Yeah. I mean, and for some reason, we keep showing up for each other, and somebody who across the country, as you say, I'm having let's say a bad day, or I'm wrestling with some stuff. And my gosh, this person calls at the right moment.
Oh my God.
And I don't even say a word about it. And they're ministering to me just because, that's good stuff right there. Like that tells you the creation is amazing.
And I'm telling you that, and and I'm going to open up something to you this week. 2 days ago, I just received a letter from Canada. And I was like, okay, was this envelope from Canada? Of course, I thought it might be them, my friend. And they just had a baby a year ago. Just had a baby, and literally it was like it's kind of was a photo of his baby and something saying like asking if I would like to be his godfather.
Wow.
Oh my God, I went blind, like I called him straight away. When I received, that was like, for me, was the best present I could receive. Like, my goodness, their first child, and oh my God, The Godfather, so it's something like, oh my God, it just made my whole year. So
yeah, I mean, it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes as to trust, to long-term trust.
Yeah.
And, you know that they sat and thought about that. It wasn't, they didn't just, I mean, probably they sat and thought about it, and they made a list, and they said, these are the qualities of humanity that we most want to cherish and see in our child. And that was typified by you. So well done, good and faithful servant.
Thank you. Right, let's go for another question. Let's do Bart.
Yay! Let's do it.
Yes, happiness. Next question is, where do you see yourself living when you retire?
I love Sedona, Arizona. I consulted up there. That's where I opened a martial arts studio.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful place. The Red Rocks, it's gorgeous. It is a desert, which is a little different. I mean, right now outside Chicago, I'm loving how green everything is. There's grass and everything. So I kind of like that too. But, just the quality of people that are there and the beauty of it. And there's a certain pace to it that I really like. But I'm agnostic. I don't have a plan. Wherever there's love or wherever I'm needed and wherever it happens, that's fine.
Good.
Right now, I'm loving Sedona, Arizona, and I would recommend anybody go and visit the place. There's something about it.
Oh, wow. Have you enjoyed the show so far?
I am.
Yeah,
it's great. Like talking with a friend.
Good. Let's go for another one then.
An inquisitive friend.
We're becoming friends now, I think, from now on.
Okay, amen.
Let's do it. Right, next question is, who do you talk the most?
Who do I talk to the most?
Yeah.
I'm right now kind of helping out my dad. He's 88 and alone, and that's why I'm kind of here.
Okay.
And he's doing great, by the way. And so, of course, I have breakfast and dinner and in between time with him. And we're close. We've always been close.
Wow.
We did several cross-country motorcycle trips together and a skydive together. We skydived together.
Oh wow, that's amazing!
I took him skydiving. And we went to Sturgis. I don't know if you've heard of that before.
No.
It's the big Harley Davidson rally every year, Sturgis, South Dakota.
Oh.
So we did that trip, we've always been close, and now is a different time in his life, and so I get to be there for him. And intellectually, we're pretty similar. We can talk about anything from astronomy to physics to politics to history to pet care, and anything in between. And so we have that, we can set up. We have little boundaries which are good. Mm-hmm. I think he respects the fact that I can say, well, I disagree, and here's why, so we're safe. But it's a joy to be able to just be here and spend this time. So I guess I talked to.
Sorry, you have siblings as well? You have siblings as well?
I had a brother who passed away. I have a sister who lives in Arizona.
Okay.
I do. And I have a sister-in-law, my brother's widow. And of course, the kids, my nieces. I've got several nieces and nephews.
Uh-huh.
So I've got extended family around.
Oh, good for you. Let's go for another question. Let's do it.
Thank you.
Next question.
Okay.
What do you miss the most of your childhood and why?
Well, I see that there's an inherent safety in childhood, isn't there? Childhood living, as the song goes, is easy to do. And I was in this area, not a little south of here, but I grew up running around in cornfields and playing with kids all over the neighborhood, and we'd stay out till the streetlights came on, then we had to come home. And the only fear my parents had was that I would do something to get in trouble, right? They didn't have fear that something would happen to me as much. Uh-huh. And I think that that level of sort of safety and security is something that's sort of siphoning off in modern culture a little bit, unfortunately. So I think the unabashed feeling of security was something that you had as a childhood that you have to at least prepare for as an adult and think about, and you hit a standard where you feel like you've done your work to make sure you've got provisions and safety and security, and that you can provide that for yourself and those around you, and even your neighbors. I watch out for them as well. So that would be the misty watercolor memories of childhood, would be that the implicit understanding of safety and security.
One of the things that I miss the most is about waiting for Christmas, that it took like so long to arrive, because nowadays it just the following days, and I feel like Christmas comes like the time it goes so fast right now. When you are a child, you wait for your birthday, it never comes your birthday, it never comes Christmas, and yes.
Yeah. I don't actually celebrate Christmas anymore.
Why is that?
I take part in whatever holidays. I don't know. I don't think it's an actual Christian holiday. I think it was invented by,
Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. And I can take the time and understand the importance of spending time with family and acknowledging each other, and even understanding, celebrating the birth of Christ if we want to. Mm-hmm. But everything else, veneer over it. I just kind of move away from that.
More commercial now.
Yeah, and even like the Christmas tree and Santa Claus and all these things, they're invented, and we can, they're not real. So they're not of a genuine source that I believe. And even like Easter, so much like it's not a real Christian holiday. It's not Passover. It's not nothing. So and then not disrespectful of it, or disrespectful of people who want to, because I got a neighbor who decks out their house a month early. And well into January, there's still reindeer, and that's fine. I don't have any judgment about that. It's just I just take a collection of my own what I want to participate in and where my energy goes. So
okay,
I'd go to work in a soup kitchen on Christmas than eat a big dinner.
So if one day I invite you to come to London to visit me around Christmas, I'll make sure I have a Christmas tree stand at my house.
Yeah.
It's full of decoration,
right.
lights around.
That's right.
Welcome you.
Hey, they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. They're beautiful.
I'll be like, come on, Bart, just come in, please. And full of presents around and Christmas. I'm just teasing you now.
Yeah. I mean, you could have a Shiva doll there. You could have a Buddha. It's the same thing. I can acknowledge that it's nice. It just doesn't have a connection to my belief system per se. Yeah.
I'm just teasing you. I'm just joking. Right.
No, we're gonna do this. This is gonna happen.
Yeah. You see, I'm gonna bring you up. You're gonna remember this moment now.
I love London. I had a great time there. I want to go back to Italy. I got to see northern Italy and Florence and Rome and all that, but I wanted to go to the southern coast so bad.
Right.
And I love that area. I mean, it's gorgeous, and the food and the culture and all of it. So that's kind of my plan. Is I'd love to go back to Italy. Hey, Rome is a huge city. I had no idea how big Rome was, but Florence is my favorite town. It's beautiful. The culture, internationally, people all over the place. Love Florence a lot.
Cool.
I would like to live there. That would be nice.
Do you speak Italian?
No, I speak some Spanish, so it translates. But everybody speaks English. Yeah, I can read Spanish and Italian, but when I speak it, it sounds very weird. Even because Americans try to do the inflection on the second syllable, or whatever down, and it just comes off wrong. People laugh, but
it's like this.
I can read it pretty well.
It's like the same. It's like the same word. The question before about character. I cannot even say it's character. Character. It's for me difficult to say character. Mm-hmm. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go for another one, Bart. Let's do it.
Okay.
Right. Let's get another one.
Good song choice.
Good. What does success mean to you?
Wow. Well, success is a journey, right? I don't know. It's a destination. Mm-hmm. So I think success is to be able to know that all of the different fronts in which I'm trying to grow, that there's energy and work happening in that. I guess if I can help the people I love, if I can be, be there for them, because I'm kind of like one of the older people in my family now, believe it or not. And I mean, other than my parents, who are thankfully still alive. So there's a lot of younger generation beneath me, and they're doing great. But I remember what it was like to be 27 or 31, and there's a lot of transition happening there. So, I think success to me is be able to have impact in that, even silently, even like they don't know I'm helping. Like I'm just talking. Sure. Yeah. So, but I mean, I guess there's a financial piece to it as well. I appreciate being debt free, and that feels like success. Not having debt is a good thing.
Yeah, you sleep properly during the night.
I try.
Right, I've got 3 questions left. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. You can have your coffee. You can have a sip. I'll wait for you to sip. Let's do it.
Okay. Is the truth?
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay.
So, what 3 things are you most grateful for?
Well, I'll tell you a couple things. I think 6 years ago, I had a pretty good life on paper, as I think I mentioned, but I had this sort of knocking in my head or my spirit that this wasn't it, right? That all that had been given and created around me was, all of my skill and attention was solely for the purpose of having creature comfort, so that I wouldn't be uncomfortable, right? And I had a great life. I was not uncomfortable. Anyway, but there was this discontent that started to grow up, like, healthy discontent. And like, really, is this all I'm here for? Even though I was doing service work, even though I had things around me. So I began to make some changes, and then some life events happened. I lost a family member very tragically. And I just feel like the universe stepped in when I was at a level where I thought I was happy, and drew me out to a place where I could see what happiness was, where I could be grateful. And it's been tough. I mean, there's been some really rough parts, right? But I'm built for tough. Like, I'm built for rough. That's okay. I can do that. I'm not scared of that. And it allowed people to show up for me, and in ways I didn't understand. So the question was grateful. Is that what you said?
3 things you are most grateful for.
Grateful for. The reconciliation of my family would be another one. I think as a youth, we were that crazy sort of family that had a lot going on, and big fights and loud noises and dysfunction. And I'm sure people looked at us like, wow, this family crazy, and we all did go our separate ways for a little while, but allowed us to sort of rebuild on a more firm foundation. And now we're all really genuinely close to each other.
Amazing.
And
wow.
and I could see the opposite in other families that were sort of normal and had a healthy, but now they're not really close to each other. They don't really know each other anymore. And so I'm grateful that, as rough as things were at one point, and as much as it broke, that we all did the work to come back and to become family again. So that was it. And then 3 things I got to tell you. My dog, again, her name was Ayla. I found her at a time when I needed saving 20 years ago, in a way. I was overwhelmed and buried and not thinking very clearly. And this dog, I mean, I saved her from an overpass in East Oakland, which is a crappy part of town. And she saved me back. And I don't know what I did to deserve her for 19 years, but I am so grateful for that. And just, my heart's hurting because I miss her, but I'm grateful for that. So there's 3.
Amazing. Cool. 2 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
You're a funny guy. Next question is, what scares you the most about your future?
Well, the aging process is full of perils and tribulations.
I can tell, full of gray hair around the beards, but I like wisdom. It's wisdom. Nobody take I like it.
Yeah.
I like my gray hair.
Yeah.
Don't have problem.
Yeah, you're not there yet. Wait for it. Give it time. So, you know, and when I was training with martial arts, I would have pain, right? Like my shoulder would hurt, my leg would hurt. And then, you know, you heal up and you're fine. And all of a sudden you find that you've got like, where is this pain coming from? You know, like get this weird pain that shows up, like in your rib all of a sudden, or you feel like there's a heavy piece in your head right here. Like, what is that? You know? So the fear, if there's going to be any, or what worries me is like, if I'm in pain because I worked out, that's okay. If I have a weird pain that shows up all of a sudden, it starts, I'm like, what's going on? You know, I start getting a little hypochondriac. Like, is my arm gonna fall off? What's happening? You know, you know. So, and you gotta just do the thought stopping. Okay, I'm in my 50s. All right, I'm gonna say that. You know.
Are you in 50s? Wow.
I'm gonna be 50.
Yes.
I'm gonna be 55 this year.
What have you done to look like that to keep all the youth around?
Okay, well, I have a little help with the beard, so I'm gonna put that there. It's called Just for Men. I am not ashamed, because I would have a white beard. I would look like Father Time. So no shame there. Self-love. You know, good Christian living, maybe. I don't know. I guess jeans would be it. I do exercise. Like for me to start martial arts training at 53, to be getting choked out and, you know, working out to the point where I throw up once in a while. You know. I didn't think I could do that, and I think that the way I was able to was that, you know, and maybe this is a good example. I don't fight against physical exhaustion or, you know, being scared to get on the mats and fight. I wrestle against the word no, because when I wake up in the morning and I'm going to go work out, I hear no, don't get out of bed.
I know.
No.
I know.
You
Yes,
know?
I know exactly what I mean.
Like when I'm driving to the gym, I'm like, you know, I could just go to McDonald's right now and sit and have coffee, and, you know, this would be fine, you know. I hear no all the time in my head. And so when I don't give in to the word no, and all of a sudden I'm there and I'm doing it and there's no more no's to stop me.
It's the best feeling.
It is the best feeling in it. And it gives me a power over the inevitable. Like it gives me a choice in there.
Yes.
So this little trick I've learned is to put difficult things in my pathway, right? I don't know where they are right now, but I have a challenging family. None of us are shy wallflowers. We're all very outspoken, right? And I have difficult friends sometimes. You know, they're difficult people and they're challenging and I love them. But, you know, they're not easy. You know? I mean, there's a few that are hand in glove. I gotta have those, right?
That's what makes interesting. That's what makes interesting when they're not easy. Yeah, that's what things are.
That's right. So, you know, I don't know about the youthfulness. I think staying a little bit challenged in life, off balance, it forces you to evolve daily in your thinking, in your perception of what you can do, and then, you know, just. If my identity is built on something, it's built on the reality of my life, not on my perception of myself. So I know what I've done. I know the good and the bad that I've done. I know my tendency to want to cop resentment when I'm offended. And I know that I've worked out tools in my life to keep clear of that. So that tells me, unvarnished, sort of who I am. And also on the mats, that tells me who I am, right? Like, how do I lose? How do I win? You know, I mean, you know, how can I care about this person and yet I'm thinking in my head ways to choke them? Like, you got to keep in that off balance, and I think that keeps us fresh, keeps us alive.
Can we do this interview every single day? I'm learning a lot today with you.
I'd love to. That's great.
This show is going to be Magic Box with William and Bart. It's going to be the name of the show.
Sure.
Every single day.
I'll promote it.
Right, I've got the last question now. Let's do it.
Aww.
Oh. Okay, Bart, let's get the last question. Share with us a crazy story that happened to you when you were at school. Crazy or fun?
At school, you mean at college or whenever?
Whatever, yeah. Okay.
Well, I tell you, I went to Berkeley at a very interesting time in America. The LA riots happened. O.J. Simpson, I don't know if you remember the O.J. Simpson story. I mean, there were riots, the first real riots we'd seen in a long time. But I'll tell you one thing that was crazy that I remember. Underneath Berkeley campus, because it was born it was built in the 1800s or 1900s, right? After the earthquake. There's this underground steam generation system. All right, so there's steam being piped all over, and it generates power, right? And so all of a sudden, okay, all right, bye. One time, friends and I took us down, and you can go underground under this campus that you've been living on, and there's a series of tunnels that go all across. And we were running through this thing at nighttime. We had like those headlights on, and you don't know whether the pipe next to you could be blazing hot, or it could just be a regular pipe. And we're climbing on stuff, and it was this underground terrarian that we did about 45 minutes. And somehow I was so enclosed that I had this lasting memory of tunneling under Berkeley campus. And we started on the north side of the campus, and we ended up exiting on the south side of campus. And it was like I was in a different world. I mean, for some reason, that is just one of those memories. I mean, I have, living in a cooperative system in Berkeley. I lived in a house of 52 people. Mm-hmm. I got elected House President for a while, so I kind of helped to run the thing. But living cooperatively like that, boy, you learn some lessons fast. Co-ed bathrooms, hello, and so that was my first experience, because I'd lived mostly alone or with one or two roommates before that, or I was a kid, I was in my 20s. So, but living cooperatively for those years, I think, had a lasting impression, because I've lived in community ever since, to one degree or another. Or at least my thinking is community-based, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, even here, I'm in a new place, and I'm trying to build community around me.
Wow.
Be that encourager, be that person that can bring guys together. Obviously, being articulate and be able to help people work things out is a good thing. So yeah, that was one of my memories from school, that I the subterranean trek across campus.
How old were you at the time?
I was probably 24.
Okay.
Yeah, I after my brother and I were hit by a drunk driver, he was killed, but I helped out his wife and their babies for a few years until she got remarried. So I went back to school at about age 23, which is a little older. So as a re-entry student. So I started out at a community college and ended up graduated from Berkeley 5 years later.
Amazing. Right, Bart, it's not the end yet, okay? What am I going to do now? I'm going to give away some words, and you just tell me one thing that comes to your mind, okay? The first thing, quick thinking. Shall we start?
Okay. Yes, let's go.
Let's start with family.
Family. Wow, warmth.
Money.
Ooh, transitory.
Love.
Important. Big word, yeah. Love.
Okay. Life.
Gift.
Sex.
Fun.
Politics.
Engaging. Friction.
Religion.
Religion. I have a definite definition of that word. So I might be a Christian, I might have a relationship with God, but religion to me sounds like trappings and incense and robes and hats and stuff. So wary.
Next one, fear.
Well, I would say counterbalance.
Friendship.
Fear. Ooh, man, manna.
Desire.
Desire. Constant.
Regrets.
Regrets. Beautiful scars.
Wow, like that. Wish.
Hope, I guess.
Okay.
A wish.
Fish. Yeah. Let's pretend
Yeah.
now I'm going to have a cup of coffee with your best friends, and I'm going to ask your best friend, tell me the most beautiful thing about Bart, and tell me something that he needs to improve on. What do you think they will tell me?
Well, okay. I think my friends would describe me as a little bit bulletproof. I mean, I'm an emotional person. I can cry. I actually, you know,
Can you?
watching a movie, a song, you know, I see a little bird. I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. You know, I mean, like I'm not at all, but I think I have a resilience, right?
Okay.
And I think where people would be knocked down and spend some time licking their wounds, I'm pretty much back up on my feet, and I think that's what they count on. You know, there's a concept of the valley of indecision. Have you heard of that? It's in the scriptures, right? And it talks about the people of Israel sort of wandering in the valley of indecision, right? And not really ever making the choice, or you know, and I think that there's people that want me to be on stage. They want to be on camera. They want me to be doing videos like this with you or myself.
You'll be
and
so
they're like,
good.
why aren't you? You know, I did a radio show. I hosted a radio show in Arizona for a while, and
Thank God.
you know,
Thank God didn't tell me that before. I'll be shaking myself right now, like because I'm so I'm just started out. I don't have any experience at all. If I knew that, oh my God, I would be already. Okay, anyway, sorry to disturb you. Sorry.
That's adorable. So I think that they feel like I'm wandering in the valley of indecision. Like, why aren't you doing another radio show? Why aren't you like a Facebook personality, generating all this money and stuff? And I can feel it too, in a way. I've had the spotlight on me. I've worked, you know, in years past, and I feel like that mantle is sort of passed. You know, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be in the spotlight anymore. And they're like, well, that's exactly why you should be in the spotlight, right there. You know. So my friends would say that maybe there's a little indecision going on right now with you, and then I don't feel like I'm not confident. I feel pretty confident, but I feel pretty confident. But I think they would say, you know, what do you wait for? Like, are you waiting for some condition to change? You know, and I'm wrestling with that right now, especially in this season. You know, in this time of between Yom Kippur and Feast of Tabernacles. You know, you sort of there's this time of introspection and understanding, and it's darkest before the light. So I think that they would say, you know, get out there, be more, you know, be more of this guy. And I'm like, I want to be more of this guy.
And what is holding you back? What do you think is holding you back?
Man, that's a lot of honesty you're asking for there.
Is there?
You know,
put it out. It's
you know,
there.
you know, yeah. You know, I think letting the perfect be the enemy of the good. Have you heard that concept before?
No.
Like letting the perfect be the enemy of the good. So in some ways, if I can find, if I can't say, well, I'm 100% ready to do this, or I'm 100% that somehow I'm still preparing, you know, like I get the point. If not now, when? So that's what I'm sort of wrestling with. I think I don't mind taking risks. You know, I don't mind being out there. You know, like doing this radio show. There was 5 million audience potentially, right? You know, we probably got 1%, so probably 50,000 people at any one time were listening. And you know, you were nervous and scared, and then you started doing it, and you found out, hey, talking is fairly easy, even with a big microphone in your face, right? So I think my friends would like to see me get a little bit more of a kick in the ass, perhaps, and just put it out there, because they love me and they want to see it. But
of course,
get out of the valley of indecision.
Good. Wow.
That's harsh. That's harsh. Ow.
You see, I didn't know your path, like what you do for a living, or you've done already. You have this confidence, but as I said to you, thank God I didn't know that. But since the beginning, start talking, I could see already. You know the way you talk. You're very articulate. You're very easygoing. But thank God I didn't know anything, because I would be like,
get out of here. You've got so many great reviews. You're a great interviewer. You're
no,
very much at ease.
You're just being kind now. Just being kind.
No,
yeah.
I'm not kind. I am not falsely kind. You should know this about me.
Right,
Usually.
Let's play now Bart and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question, okay? But before that, let's play the music one more time.
Okay.
Cool. You can ask me a question now, Bart.
Okay. What do you know for sure?
Wow. I don't know for sure. Yes, I know for sure that I came into this world to work really, really, really hard. That's I know for sure. That's nothing is gonna come easy. That's I realized a few years ago, and you know, and I love that. I love knowing that. You know, nothing come easy. If I tell you how I got to, I left Brazil when I was 19 years old. You know, I went to Portugal on my own. I didn't have any experience. I didn't know anyone. You know, when I look back now, and I'll tell you, I'm not gonna go into details, but when I left Brazil, 3 weeks before I had the opportunity to go to Portugal, I even didn't have like the money to buy the tickets. And I even didn't have no one I could go for. Like my family couldn't support me at the time. But I made it happen. I made it happen. So I'm cutting a lot of story. One day I'm gonna write a book actually about it because it's so like, my God, when I look back, I was 19 years old. And sometimes I miss that, you know, like gas, this energy I had at the time, like to make things happen like very justly. And, yeah, I realized that a few days, that's I know for sure that I just work hard, like, and it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable working hard because when you achieve things, it's just, it's more enjoyable, if it makes sense. It's more kind of, you feel more the energy and everything. So very good question actually, because I was talking to a friend a few years ago actually about it, and we were talking about like, it was different topic, and I just told him, oh, one thing I know for sure, I came to work hard, you know, and it just made me remember now this question because yeah, that's I know for sure, and it's very enjoyable, and I'm grateful for that as well because it's cool.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thanks for making sharing this. And now I'm gonna ask you, as you said about your experience, I'm gonna ask you a device. Which device would give to me personally regarding this, what I'm doing right now? I'm just starting out. Any advice, anything that you could personally give to me?
No, I mean, I liked coming into this not knowing what was going to happen. I mean, you know, I didn't know if there was going to be a silent ambush happening or, you know, whether you're going to try to sell me Amway. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Some people might be, you know, on guard, like exactly who are you and what do you want, you know, like, you know. So, you know, you'll know your audience, you'll know the person that you're about to communicate with, whether they, you know, whether they're nervous and holding back. Man, I can't think of anything. The hat's great, the smile's great, the energy's good.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like I could trust you right away. Like you just communicate that to me. I hear that. So, you know, I don't mind being exposed and saying, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. No, I mean, great job.
Right, just before you go, Bart, if you can just share a positive quote, a positive message, something that inspires in life.
Well, this too shall pass. Is a pretty powerful statement. When I'm really happy and like all things are going well around me, I got to remember this too shall pass, right? And when I'm in the low and I see, you know, I'm in a hole, I can't see anything around me that's going to be good. I got to know this too shall pass. So, you know, keeping that natural polarity alive, I think, again, it keeps you sort of right-centered. And it also provides a window for hope. So it doesn't matter what I see, what I feel, where I'm at right now. I know that this will pass. I know things will change. And I've witnessed that. I've been super, you know, heights I felt and at the depths. And by gosh, you know, life changed, life continued. So remember, this too shall pass.
Good, very good one. Thank you very much for sharing that. So
I love it.
A good start.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Bart. I really appreciate it. Okay, thanks so much. And
thank you. We'll talk soon. All right, buddy. See you soon.
See you soon in Italy.
In London.
Okay, come to London and go to Italy.
Go to Italy.
I love it.
All right, thank you.
Take care. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.